remotely. So welcome. This is the date is 2/2/22. This is the first meeting, organizational meeting of the Joint Committee on Judicial Retention. All members are present right now, and we would call the meeting to order. And the first order of business we would ask our legislative counsel, Eric Fitzgerald, to provide an intro as to why we are all here remotely.
Yes, thank you, Chair Troiano. This is Eric Fitzpatrick with the Office of Legislative Counsel. I'm here to talk to the committee about the meeting being remote at the moment. As I think the committee is aware, both bodies, the Senate and the House, have passed Joint Resolution number 13. And the language in Joint Resolution 13 specifically says that a member of a joint committee may debate and vote remotely in that committee if the member confirms with the committee's chair or co-chairs, as applicable, that the member must be absent from committee due to symptomatic illness or direct COVID-19 related circumstances. Now that language, I think, is phrased quite broadly to provide the chair with a great deal of discretion to determine what the COVID-19 related circumstances are and whether they exist in a particular instance. So with that in mind, I think that there's the ability of the committee to continue meeting remotely for purposes of the interviewing the judges, conducting committee discussions, whatever other business that the Judicial Retention Committee is going to conduct this year, and that the language provides the chair with the authority and discretion to permit those meetings to occur remotely, provided that there's some direct COVID-19 related circumstances exist. As you may recall, I think the committee has discussed that the as a direct result of COVID, the State House has been substantially reconfigured and remodeled. Well, remodeled is probably the wrong word. Reconfigured is a better word. Not yet, anyway, on the remodeling. And the has done that in order to provide space for the standing committees to meet, and that for that reason, that leaves pretty much no space for committees like this one that meet sporadically, intermittently, do not have dedicated rooms like the standing committees do. There's no ability for the committees such as this one to find a place to meet. That seems to be a direct consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic and the need to create spaces for the permanent committees. Now, that's just one potential circumstance that of course, Chair Troiano, you could rely on, but it's one that certainly seems specific to a joint committee like this one. And my understanding is that other joint committees are facing the same problem. So having said that, I guess I would turn it over to the chair to indicate whether or not, in your discretion, in your view, the circumstances have been met to warrant the committee meeting remotely this year.
Thank you, Eric, and I'm sorry for missing your name there. Only changed it slightly, so.
It's quite common, no problem.
Okay. So given the circumstances, I find that two issues exist. One are that there are some members that would meet the criteria for COVID-related issues that would allow them to participate remotely. Secondly, the building, as we discussed, the building is not ready to accommodate a joint committee meeting of this size and remain social distancing and consideration for the safety and well-being of its members. So on that, I will rule that we at this point can all meet remotely until further notice. I think that would there may be a time throughout these deliberations that at which time we may want to take another look as to whether or not people are back in the building, and or whether or not there is a space available for us to meet in person. So I will rule at this point that for this time, we will meet remotely until further notice. Okay, that being said, I think I see Attorney Paolini is here and Terry Corsones is here. And I think that Judge Zone probably knows all of us from his recent visit to us, although I think there are maybe a few new members on this committee. But Judge Zone, welcome. And
thank you. Good afternoon.
It's good to see you, and maybe we'll do some introductions so that we can be sure that you know all the members of the committee. And so, Dick, you're up on my side here, so we can start with you.
Yeah, I'm Dick McCormick. I represent Windsor County and Londonderry and Mount Holly. And yeah, good to see you back.
Alice?
I'm Alice Nitka from Ludlow, represent Windsor County and the towns of Mount Holly and Rutland County and Londonderry and Windham County. I'm on the Judiciary Committee and the Appropriations Committee.
Joe?
Good evening, everybody. I'm State Senator Joe Benning from the Caledonia County District. I chair Senate institutions. I'm on the Judiciary Committee as well as several ad hoc committees. I think I've known Judge Zone since he cut his teeth in Caledonia County. I've known Bob Paolini since, well, at least since that big fall of ice came off the roof at the courthouse and crushed your car. And Terry Corsones was the chair of the Human Rights Commission, who left, and then I picked up her chair seat. So nice to see all of you back.
Thank you. And drop down one, Celine.
Hi, I'm Selena Colburn. I think I know everybody here, but I, for the benefit of anybody watching, I represent Burlington's Chittenden 6-4 district and serve on the House Judiciary Committee.
Thank you. Will?
Hello, I'm Will Knott. I represent Rutland 5-4, which is the northwest section of Rutland City, and I'm currently serving my 4th year on the House Judiciary Committee.
Thank you. Ruth?
Thank you. Hi, Judge Zone and everyone. I'm Senator Ruth Hardy from the Addison District, representing all of Addison County plus Huntington and Buell's Gore, at least for now. And I serve on Senate Finance and Health and Welfare Committees. Thanks.
Thank you. Butch?
Hi, I'm welcome to everybody. I'm Butch Shaw. I represent Brandon, Pittsford, and Sudbury in the House, and I am currently Vice Chair of House Transportation.
Thank you. And again, I'm Chip Troiano. I am Vice Chair of the General Housing and Military Affairs Committee. I represent Caledonia 2 District. I remember Judge Zone when he was cutting his teeth in Caledonia County as well. Joe and I are aging ourselves here. Welcome, Judge.
Thank you.
So this evening or this afternoon, we are here to for the purpose of an organizational meeting to discuss what will come through this session or through this season. So the first issue, I guess, is that in conversation, Eric and I had discussed what nights that would be best to meet. And we have decided Wednesdays would be okay. Now, there are occasional conflicts with some caucuses that I am a member of, but I thought that we agreed that Wednesday would be a good night. So the first order of business is there anyone on the committee that will have a problem meeting on Wednesday nights consistently?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Just a cautions, the House is meeting at 3 o'clock on Wednesdays currently, and we were right on the dime today to get here at 4:30, and I'm wondering if maybe a little later hour might be safer for us to get to this meeting.
Okay. So that would be a good consideration. Will we have a recommendation? I mean, yeah, you're right. We did cut it close. I'm wondering if another hour or half hour might be good. What are your thoughts, Representative Shaw?
Well, it's as we all know, it's a good crapshoot when the calendar comes out. So probably an hour might be the wisest thing to do, I think, Mr. Chair.
I think so also. And I also think that when more business is on the calendar, we will probably go back to 1 o'clock meetings.
Hope so.
Yeah, I think that will carry. So 5:30, since we're meeting remotely, our judges will appear remotely. There are no issues surrounding driving home in snowstorms. So would 5:30 be a good time for all those on the committee? Yes? Hearing no objections.
Yes.
Okay. So hearing no objections, Eric, I think if we set the time for the meetings at this point at 5 to begin at 5:30, and we will keep them
absolutely.
we'll keep
Just
them on
to
Wednesday.
double check, do folks have the draft agenda in front of them?
I do.
Okay, so that would mean we change the meetings for example, for the preliminary meetings that are February 9th and February 16th with the 6 judges to 5:30.
Yes.
And oh, thanks, Peggy, or whoever shared that.
Not me.
Yes, me.
So change those 2 to 5:30. The public hearing is set for Thursday, on a Thursday, the 24th at 6. That would stay the same, I guess, or I guess pending the committee's further discussion. And then there's another Wednesday on March 16th to deliberate and vote. We could change that one to 5:30 too. So great. I've got it for those ones anyway.
Okay. So we can go back to.
Could I ask a question?
Oh, yes, I didn't see a hand. I'm sorry.
Triano.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was raising my hand earlier, but I'm sitting in front of a yellow wall. So,
Okay.
so would that mean that some of those meetings, like the follow-up meeting with judges, would also get moved to Wednesday?
Oh,
Eric?
No, I think what we had just discussed with that, the Thursday meetings would stay on Thursdays.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that. It's been a long day. I apologize.
I mean, that was the plan, I think.
Okay, so it would be Wednesday or Thursday, but
Correct.
moving to anything that's at 4:30 to 5:30.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
That's what the plan is right now. Is that okay with you, Selena?
It is. It is. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, any other questions or discussion regarding the time?
The only other thought I had, Representative Troiano, was that, or question I should say, is there's one other 4:30 meeting for Thursday, March 10th, which is the follow-up meeting with judges, which sometimes, I'm sure everybody remembers that sometimes that goes forward, and sometimes it all depends on how the hearings go, but I think sometimes that meeting is combined with the following meeting to deliberate. So it may or may not happen, but just for purposes of the schedule, since it's a Thursday, should we keep that one at 4:30 or move that one to 5:30 as well?
I think that Thursdays we have been already meeting on the floor at 1. So, but that comes at a time when oftentimes we've got issues on the floor that are being debated and voted on. So as in the years past, to my experience, I think that if we leave it at on Thursday, that would be okay at 4:30. And if there are issues surrounding members getting from the floor to the meeting, I guess we'll have to deal with it at that time.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Can I offer? Would it be okay to speak now?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Representative Chair Troiano. I guess I would just propose that we move all of those 4:30 meetings to 5:30, especially if we are having judges come and visit us, because I think that's been really awkward at times in the past to have to ask them to just sit tight while we wrap up a floor debate. And your point that is that Thursday, March 10th, that does start to be a time when a lot of things are moving to, as we're getting close to those crossover dates. And so I don't know, I think just for consistency, I would probably advocate for 5:30, but if that's not the overall will of the committee, that's fine by me.
Okay. Well, do we have, that would make sense. I agree. How does the committee feel about that? Would that be okay with everyone to consistently start at 5:30? Alice, that's a thumbs up. Yeah. No objections?
No objections.
Okay. So, Eric, then we will start all committee meetings at 5:30.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Senator Benning.
that Thursday, the 24th, that's the public hearing. I don't
Yes.
remember how we did this the last time around, but I'm hoping that a letter going out or press release for the public can go out in such a way that they are given until 7 o'clock to actually sign up. And if they haven't by then, we're not sitting around until 8 o'clock with nobody coming in and no way of knowing whether anybody is. I know we've dealt with that issue in the past, but I don't remember how we resolved it. I just want to see if there's a way we don't have to all sit for 2 hours waiting for
Yeah,
nobody to show up.
we
Okay,
can put that in the press release.
Yeah, we did handle it last year. Peggy, want
Yeah,
to comment on that?
yeah, we can put something in the press release saying that if nobody is here by a certain time, that the meeting will end. I'll pull up the one from last year and talk to Representative Triana about it.
Okay, thank you. Senator Hardy?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I think we talked about this last year, but with that press release, Peggy, could you mind just sending us all the copy when you send it out, just sending it to all of us in case we want to share it with people?
Sure, of course.
That'd be great. Thanks.
Yep.
Very good. Anything else?
I'm assuming you're going to do the public hearing remotely as well?
Yes. At
Okay.
this point, that would be the decision. I think even more so, the space issue is even
Yeah,
more critical, inviting public into the building. So I would say yes.
yep, no problem.
Okay. Moving right along. So at this point, we've established that meetings will stay on the nights that Wednesdays and Thursdays that according to the schedule, with a change of meeting at 5:30 instead of 4:30. Is that everyone's understanding? Okay, very good. So we move on to, we have 6 judges to visit with this session. We have a schedule laid out. The Honorable Thomas Durkin, Honorable David Fenster, and the Honorable Carrie Ann McDonald Cady. Is that schedule look okay with everyone on the committee?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, and we move to the second group of judges is the Honorable Robert Mello, the Honorable John Pacht, and the Honorable Helen Tour. Also okay with everyone? Has everyone been able to receive their binder either by mail or picking it up at the State House? Everyone have their binder of information?
Yes.
I see heads nodding, everyone. Okay, very good. Okay, and then we move to February 24th would be the public hearing. And we had discussed, thanks to Senator Benning, and that Peggy would send out a copy of the hearing notice to everyone on the committee, and that Peggy will check on the language that would make it clear that we will adjourn at 7 o'clock if no one appears by then. And
That-
everyone's understanding?
Maybe I misunderstood you. That's not that's not February 24.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That,
Public hearing, February 24th, Thursday, February 24th, public hearing.
no, that's Thursday, February. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the next line of introducing the resolution. Yes, you're correct. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, and that will bring us to the 24th for the introduction of the joint resolution, deferring to the joint assembly on March 24th. That date okay with everyone?
Mhm.
Judge Zone, you're okay with all these also? I mean, you're part of this, so.
Your schedule will become my schedule. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Bob and Terry, you folks, okay?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yes, I've run all those dates by the 6 judges. They're fine with those dates.
Okay.
I guess I have a question perhaps for Peggy as to whether their results, their surveys, and my copy of them have been put in the mail to them, because we have the first 3 judges are due next Wednesday. And
I don't handle that part of it. Eric works with Mariah on that,
okay.
so that'd be a question for Eric.
okay, well, my only concern is that at least in my town, we don't get mail delivered every day now. We go 2 or 3 days without getting a mail delivery. And the judges are concerned that they have an opportunity to sort of go through the materials before they meet with you folks.
Okay.
So I can answer that. The materials were placed in the mail this morning to the judges, so they have gone out. As far as for you personally, Bob, or anyone else who wants one, I know I'd spoken with Terry and Judge Zoni about this as well. I have a binder for you, for each of you, and there are a couple of extras as well, but I made them for you knowing that you guys typically want them every year. So we can mail them to you, or you could pick it up here at the State House in the copy room. Tony is holding a couple of copies for anybody who wants to pick them up. So just let me know your preference.
You can mail that to me, and if it's easier to mail without the binder, if it would go quicker, you can just, I'll take the pages, not
Okay.
necessarily the binder, if that would help.
Yeah.
That's up to the mail folks if they know better, but sure, whatever works quickest. Yes, thanks.
Great. Sure. Can you email me your mailing address?
Sure, of course.
Thanks.
Very good. Terry, you good? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm happy to pick up a binder at the State House, and Bob, I'm also happy to, if the judges don't receive theirs timely, to get it to them however way they wish.
Okay, I'll talk to them in the next couple of days and we'll see where we're at. Thanks, Terry.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. So that takes us to town meeting recess week, and back on Thursday, March 10th for the follow-up meeting with the judges. So I guess every year we do have some issues that require follow-up. So I guess we will keep that on the schedule. And again, that would be at 5:30, a change to 5:30. Any input there? Any questions or Dick? Yeah. You're muted.
Do you want to stay on the 10th, which is a Thursday, or move it back to a Wednesday?
I'm not sure why. Why did Eric? Was there a reason that went to Thursday?
I thought when we had talked about it, Representative Troiano, we had sort of landed on a mix of Wednesdays and Thursdays. So
Okay.
No real reason other than that.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fair. Is that all right? Does that work for everyone? No particular reason.
So we'll stay on the 10th.
Yes, correct. All right. Let's see. On the 16th, we will meet to deliberate. And I think it was Selena that you brought up that sometimes we combine those two meetings.
Wasn't me. I didn't think I
No.
am the one that brought that up, but
I'm not sure that's a good idea. I think
yeah.
having some time to meet with judges that we call back is probably appropriate, and to deliberate the following week or 6 days later. That all right with everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
That was me who mentioned it, just so you know.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's okay.
We look so much alike.
That's right.
Same person.
Frequently mistaken.
Yeah.
I didn't call you by the wrong name though, Selena. Okay.
Not yet. Not as young.
Okay, and so on Tuesday, the 22nd, we will make summaries. So at the deliberation meeting, we will assign judge reports to the members of the committee, and then on the 22nd, those summaries will be made available to the caucus. And then on the 24th at 10:30 a.m., the joint assembly will be held to report on the 6 judges and to have votes taken. I'm not sure how Butch, did you have something that you wanted?
Well, I did, and Mr. Chair, I was going to talk about the joint assembly with the current House and Senate rules in place, and joint rules in place. So maybe we should push that decision off of whether it's going to be in person or video or whatever until the Senate makes a decision the 1st of March what they're going to do.
Okay, I would agree. I think that would be appropriate. Any objections to that?
I'm sorry, I'm not quite understanding what you want to do. Just not have it on the list?
No, not to decide whether or not it would be remote or in person. I think the date has to remain the same, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's my only concern, Senator Nick, is so all the rules everybody's got a different set of rules we're going by right now, and hopefully all the rules will align, and like the stars will align on that date.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Senator Hardy, yes.
I just have a question for you House members who are actually there in person. When you're meeting on the floor, are you all in the chamber or are you spread out still around the building?
We're all in the chamber now, those of us who are in person, and then others are piping in remotely, but we have the option to sit in different seats for folks who want to be socially distanced. But frankly, most people are just sitting in their seats, and the majority of the House is here at this point. Yeah.
Got it.
So we've reserved the chamber seats in the well for members should they want to sit where the public normally would sit. And the public is all asked to go in on the second floor gallery to look at it. So we have received that space. The Senate seats are off limit to us because the speaker can't see somebody if they're sitting in that seat. But it seems to be so far working out fairly well.
Okay, that's good. It's just hard to tell from the photographs where you all are. And just thinking ahead of I hope we're back sooner rather than later. I really want to be back with all of you. But just a joint assembly is even more people than just the House. So, that's just to consider how we do it, even if we are all there in person. But more than a month away. So we'll wait.
Cross your fingers.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, Peggy, how did we count the ballots last year? Do you recall? Or Eric?
I believe they, didn't people mail them in, Eric?
Oh, that's right. Yes, we did mail. Yes. Okay. Yep, I remember. Okay. So I guess we need to keep in mind any decision that will have to be made about whether or not that joint assembly takes place remotely or in person. Is a matter of getting ballots mailed out to folks if it does take place remotely, and have enough time to get them mailed out and mailed back. So that is a consideration. So we maybe want to continue the dialogue on that throughout this session.
It's something that, and I will, if it makes sense to you all, probably send would typically would send once if you approve the schedule tonight. I would send it to John Bloomer and Betsy Ann Rask, so they're aware of it. And last year, for example, they and the Speaker and the President Pro Tem, I think, worked with the Secretary of State to set up a process to send those ballots out in the mail. And that's because I guess Secretary of State had experience with how to do that. So that's how they were able to pull it off.
Okay. Well, it might make sense to send them out. And in the event we do return in person, folks could bring their ballots with them. I guess that's an option. I don't know. I guess we have some time to think about it a little bit, but that's a good idea. I think that should be done though, Eric.
Okay.
That dialogue should take place between the pro tem, the speaker, and the clerk and the, okay. So that takes us through the session and with the amended version of our agenda, moving times back a little bit, but keeping the same dates as are presented. Is there any other discussion or any questions or? Okay, seeing none. Should we have a formal vote on accepting the agenda? Eric?
I don't know the answer to that, to be honest. I don't think you need one from a legal perspective.
Okay.
But you certainly can if you like.
Okay. So, yeah, I will entertain a motion. Senator Benning.
Yep, before we get to adjournment motion, the one thing to keep in mind is the Senate rules as they currently exist have us meeting remotely. So if we're going to decide to go back in and do it in person, and for some reason or other, the Senate rules have not changed, we're going to need to get a rules change from the Senate Rules Committee.
Understood. It's my understanding that that'll be taken up on the 1st of March or no, right after town meeting break. I heard that the Senate will be taking up another resolution as to whether or not you'll come back to the building. Is that fair to say?
We're supposed to be right around that time frame. The only concern I've got is if they decide to stay remote.
Yeah.
This committee has decided to do it in person. We may need to get their clearance for allowing us to participate that way.
Okay. Well, it seems to me that is I think that could be a further discussion. But it seems to me if they decide to keep you folks remote, that will have a major impact on the decision as to how to proceed with the joint assembly. So,
okay. With that, I'll move to adjourn.
I think Senator Hardy had a.
Yes. Oh. Ruth, you had a hand up?
Yeah, I was just going to add, I think that our rules committee is reviewing it weekly, basically, at this point, and meeting and making weekly or bi-weekly decisions. But I think that the rule that's in place for the Senate, it does expire at the beginning of March.
Okay.
And then so that forces a decision, but we may come back earlier than that. And I'm hoping we do.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And before your motion to adjourn, Senator Benning, I guess rather than a formal motion, I will just ask all the committee members if the agenda that was spoken of tonight works for everyone, or if there are any objections.
Works.
Okay. Yep.
Eric, you'll send us just an updated version of it so we can.
Yep. I'll update it and send it out and send Outlook invites for all the dates for you guys.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Very good.
Actually, Peggy, I have the Word document, so I'll do the updates on my end and I'll send it to you.
Okay, sounds great.
Thank you. Could I add one last thing?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yep. Eric.
Just I'm sure people may have noticed this already, but to the extent you'll notice when you look over the survey results, I think you'll notice that the response rates vary between judges. And we noticed that during the process, And I actually sent out an additional email extra to the two that we usually send out an email. Then people who don't respond get a follow-up email. And noticing that it's interesting because we got a lot of names from the court for both attorneys and court staff, guardians ad litem, victims advocates, et cetera. So we had a lot of names to send the emails to for each candidate, but the response rates were very different depending on, and even when I sent out a particularly specific email, and I discussed that this was an important process, that judges, without the retention process, the Vermont system, depends on their responses in order for this committee to be able to formulate their thoughts, that sort of thing. Still, some of the response rates were very different. And I just thought wanted everyone to know up front that, we gave it multiple efforts on each one. And so for some judges, the response rates were excellent. And you got a lot of feedback. For others, not so much. So just to give you that background.
Okay, yeah. I kind of noticed just going through it cursorily, but a review, that there were some differences. So,
yeah.
Okay, good to know. So, seeing nothing further, Senator Benning, I will entertain your motion.
So moved. We adjourned.
Okay, thank you all.